Hello and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to take you through my top 5 foods for you to get shredded, and there are 2 bonus foods. They're not really foods, but things that you can utilize to help you get shredded at the end of the video, so stick around to see them. Now, in order to get shredded, what you need to basically do is be in a calorie deficit and maintain that deficit for a long enough time period until you're at an appropriate body fat percentage to look shredded. That is where the amount of fat in between your skin and muscle tissue is minimized so that you can see the muscle definition. Now, gaining more muscle will allow you to look shredded at a higher body fat percentage. That is because even though there is more fat in between the skin and the muscles are just so big, they're so bulbous that you will see their definition through the skin anyway, and you will still look shredded. So I highly recommend aiming to gain muscle. This video will not focus on anything to do with gaining muscle. When it comes to dieting and the top foods to get shredded, what we are focusing on nutritionally is trying to pick foods that are really low in calories to help us minimize the amount of calories we're consuming to contribute to our deficit, so that we then maintain that deficit until we're at the body fat percentage to look shredded. So without further ado, let's get to it. And coming in spot number 5 are seasonings. Anything like salt and pepper, turmeric, any ground up herbs and spices are brilliant. I personally use a Louisiana Cajun rub on my chicken. It adds very few calories and it makes the chicken taste great. And that is the main way that seasonings are going to help you get shredded. They are going to drastically improve your diet adherence by making great dieting foods like chicken. It's high in protein, it's satiating, it's got a lot of volume, and it's relatively low in calories for the amount of protein that it's providing. It is a great diet food, but it tastes awful. Trying to eat plain grilled chicken breast is not a sustainable practice for many people, certainly not for me. Gone are the days where you have to follow the old bodybuilding myth that everything has to be plain. You can't add any salt or sodium, otherwise you're magically going to gain fat. No, you do not need to listen to that. What you need to do is be able to stick to your diet, which is great, and seasonings help you do that. Overall, seasonings are amazing for helping you to get shredded by improving your diet adherence. And coming in spot number 4 are low-calorie veg. I'm saying salads, celery, cucumber, anything where you look at it and go, how does something that voluminous contain so few calories? Now, all fruits and veg are generally low calorie and are great for your health. However, I'm specifically on about fruit and veg where a substantial portion for you is less than 30 calories. So, for example, I have an apple a day. It's great, it's healthy, and is generally low calorie. It is a pink lady apple and it's about 80 to 100 calories. However, a salad bag, which is triple the volume, is only 20 calories. And that salad bag is a substantial portion for me, and those 20 calories are literally adding barely anything to my diet. I could eat 4 times the number of salad bags as I could eat apples, and each salad bag is more filling than the apple. So I'm specifically on about ultra low calorie veg. It is not particularly groundbreaking to put on this list. However, it had to be included in the top 5 diet foods because low-calorie veg are so effective at helping you lose weight. The main way is by providing you with satiation. When you are hungry, you need enough volume to get you satiated. So the classic example for me is when I said my meals with chicken, where I have my chicken wraps, I pack those chicken wraps with salad leaves as well. They add maybe 20 calories with that salad bag across my 2 wraps, but they are essential in allowing me to be fully satiated at the end of that meal and not desire more food. If you are hungry immediately after a meal, there is something wrong with your diet. You are not going to be able to get shredded, and you're definitely not going to be able to maintain being shredded if you're constantly hungry. You need things like low-calorie veg to help you get satiated. The next thing that low-calorie veg can do is buy you time. Now, time is a massive thing for weight loss, which is not often discussed. weight loss is actually a passive thing. So things like building muscle and building strength are active. You have to actively go and train and then recover from them to gain strength and muscle. However, weight loss is occurring passively. Calories are leaving your body all the time. Your metabolism is constantly burning calories. As you move around during the day, your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, is racking up more calories burned. Every time you do exercise, that can be a great supplementary thing to do to increase even more the number of calories you've burned. And the only thing you have to do is not eat more than you are burning. And taking up time is an essential way to ensure that. So when you hit a point where you look and it's 2 hours until your next meal and you think, oh no, I'm not going to make it, get out the low-calorie veg. I get out salad bags and literally eat them like crisps, and they buy me 2 extra hours of satiation. They buy me more time until my next meal. And my only other options were to be hungry, which is not a sustainable practice, like I've said, to constantly be hungry when you're dieting, or to snack and add significant more calories to my diet. That is also not a good option for trying to get shredded. So ultra low calorie veg are fantastic for providing you with that satiation for very few calories and buying you time. The last thing that low-calorie veg also do is provide you with fiber, which helps flush out all of your food. It is very healthy for you and it will prevent you from getting bloated. So when you actually do get shredded, it can often be underwhelming. If you get shredded, you're not eating fiber and you're bloated and your organs are actually the things that are bloated. And you're thinking, why is my waist not come in? I've lost all this body fat. I can see all of my muscles and striations, but I still have a bit of a pot belly. That is because probably you are not eating enough fiber or you were doing something to inflame your organs. So veg is also fantastic for helping you flush out all of your food and keeping your waist trim. Overall, veg is fantastic for helping you get shredded by being low calorie, providing you with a lot of satiation, buying you time, and providing you with a great source of fiber. And coming in spot number 3 is a 3-way tie between 0-calorie soft drinks, 0-calorie jelly, and flavored chewing gums. They all fundamentally do the same thing, which is to address your flavor cravings. That is another massive reason that people break their diets. It is not only because they're actually hungry and need satiation, which things like low-calorie veg are great for addressing. It is because as humans, we crave yumminess. It is like at the end of a meal out where you have eaten yourself full. You are like, oh, I couldn't eat another thing, and then the waiter comes over and asks, would you like to see the dessert menu? And there's that pause where you look at each other and then you go, yeah, we'll have a look, and you all know full well that you are going to slam down at least 700 calories of something that you weren't even hungry for. You just wanted the yumminess. That is fine, it is completely understandable, but these things, 0-calorie soft drinks, 0-calorie jelly, and flavored chewing gums are fantastic for helping address those flavor cravings and buy you time until your next meal, similar to the low-calorie veg. So overall, they are amazing for helping you get shredded by addressing your flavor cravings. And coming in spot number 2 are low-calorie versions of sauces. Now, as far as flavoring go, seasonings, number 5 on the list, actually have less calorie than all sauces, even lower calorie versions of sauces. So if you have the choice between them, choose to season your food with things like salt and pepper, which don't have calories, rather than adding sauces. That is why with my chicken, I have the Louisiana Cajun rub, rather than adding like barbecue sauce to my wraps, which would add lots of extra calories. The reason that low-calorie sauces are ranked so much higher than seasonings is because the context you use seasonings is you add them to foods that weren't seasoned to make them taste good to improve your diet adherence. But if they weren't there, you would, if you had the willpower, still be dieting well. However, when you use lower calorie versions of sauces, you swap out from the higher calories, you're actually saving lots of calories you would have eaten. And that is going to contribute massively to your deficit to help you get shredded. Now, one thing that people often don't understand is that you are already 99% of the way to your dream diet and lifestyle to get shredded. People often think that, oh, I need to get shredded. I go from eating McDonald's 6 days a week to never having fast food. I go from eating 4,000 calories a day to 2,000 calories a day. I go from walking 1,000 steps a day to 10,000 steps a day. These are astronomical changes that you are not going to be able to maintain for the rest of your life. However, your current lifestyle, you have been practicing for your entire life. You have cultivated your current lifestyle through a lifetime of experience. Now, if we take that lifestyle and make the smallest changes we can possible to get you your desired result. In this case, that's put you in a deficit. We make the smallest changes we can to put you in a deficit. You will be able to maintain that diet and lifestyle forever. You'll be able to get shredded and maintain being shredded. So a change like swapping from higher calorie version of sauces to low calorie version of sauces is fantastic for saving you so many calories. So as an example, the big one is mayonnaise. I'm going to use Hellmann's because I know their stats as an example, but all mayonnaise is very similar. Hellmann's real mayonnaise is 720 calories per 100 grams. It is a huge amount of calories because it is so full of fat. Hellmann's light mayonnaise is 269 calories. You save over 450 calories just by swapping to the light mayonnaise. And then you have Hellmann's lighter than light mayonnaise. This is the stuff I use, and it is only 102 calories per 100 grams. That is less than a seventh of the original amount at 720 calories. What often happens is a normal portion is about 50 grams of a sauce. If you used Hellmann's mayonnaise, I don't know, in burgers or on the side as something that you dipped your potatoes into, for instance, mayonnaise, 50 grams, you would save by going from the real mayonnaise to the lighter than light mayonnaise, you'd save 360 calories. That is a huge amount. That is your deficit. You only really need to be in a 300 calorie deficit to make a significant amount of fat loss over the course of like a year. And you'll be able to maintain that for your life. Now, there are some people who go, oh, it doesn't taste the same. If you're one of those people and you're not willing to make this pathetically small change to your lifestyle in order to get you shredded, as an alternative to having to eat plain chicken, broccoli and rice all day, then you don't deserve to lose the weight. It is a very simple change and you can deal with it, and after a bit of time your taste buds acclimatise anyway. Overall, low-calorie sauces are amazing for helping you to get shredded by drastically reducing the amount of calories you consume from condiments. And coming in spot number 1 is 0-calorie cooking sprays / non-stick cooking papers or non-stick cooking implements. Yes, I know they're not a food, and 0-calorie cooking spray is a food at a push, but it had to be included on this list, and it had to be number 1 because it is by far the most important change you can make to your diet to help you get shredded. This is the number 1 thing I've looked at in my own diet and with every client I address. When they come to me and they want to lose weight, the first thing I look for is how they cook most of their foods, and 0-calorie cooking spray can drastically reduce your daily calories by changing the way you cook with fats. So a classic example is that I had a client who come to me and he was eating a standard chicken breast. It was like 40 grams of protein and it was 200 calories. And then I was asking him, what are you cooking it in? He's like, well, I add olive oil, and he sort of showed it out and then he realized it was about 50 mils of olive oil. That is 440 calories. That is over double the amount of calories that the chicken had. You could eat triple the amount of chicken and still have less calories consumed than just cooking in that olive oil if you cook them with low-calorie cooking spray. So that is what I do. I get sheets of tinfoil, I put low-calorie cooking spray on, I marinate my chicken in my rub to make it taste nice, to help me stick to my diet, and then I put it in the oven, and it doesn't accumulate extra calories from the fats you're cooking it in. So it can save you an astronomical amount of calories by changing the way that you cook. what we are wanting to do is minimize fats. And I don't just mean olive oil. Like I said earlier, it's any source of fat. It could be sunflower oil, it could be butter, it could be margarine. Often what happens is people have meals that would actually be great for losing weight if they just didn't cook it in fat. And in general, we want to minimize fat. You should never seek out fats when trying to lose weight. For example, when I have a burger, I always have reduced fat burgers. The same with sausages, reduced fat sausages. Whenever I have bacon, I have lean cuts of bacon medallions. Bacon's actually very high in protein and very low in calories if you have, proportionally, if you have bacon medallions. However, if you have normal streaky bacon, which is very fatty, it doesn't provide you with much protein, so it's not helping you recover from your workouts as good. And you're then amassing loads of calories, which is going to stop you from getting shredded. The reason for this is because fats, carbs and proteins are your macronutrients. They are the main nutrients you have that make up most of your calories. Fats have 9 calories per gram. Carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram, and proteins also have 4 calories per gram. So fats are twice as calorically dense as carbohydrates and proteins. As a quick side note, there is also alcohol, which is 7 calories per gram. Alcohol is very caloric, and something I almost included on this list was non-alcoholic beers. For somebody who is a regular beer drinker, do seek out non-alcoholic beers, have significantly less calories and can help you get shredded. Or if you are determined on going out and actually getting drunk, which I don't promote at all, but I would use low-calorie, zero-calorie soft drinks as a mixer, and something like vodka, it is higher in alcohol for less calories than something like beer. So you can get the same level of drunk with like half the calories if you do that. Not that I am promoting that, but coming back to your macros, your carbohydrates, your fats and your proteins are your main sources of calories on a day-to-day basis. And because the fats are over double the calories at 9 of the carbohydrates and proteins at 4, fat is just too calorically dense for us to regularly include it in our diet when trying to lose weight. Fats also have there's something called the thermic effect of food, which is how your body can use those macronutrients, process them and turn them into either usable energy for you to live and move about, or store them as body tissue, as muscle or fat. Fats are very easy and efficient to turn into energy or body tissue, so you actually absorb all 9 calories of them. Proteins, for example, have something called a high thermic effect of food, between 20 and 30%. So they average at 25% thermic effect of food. That is that it is very hard to absorb those proteins and break them down and use them into body tissue or usable energy. So a quarter of the calories of protein, that 25% thermic effect of food on average, it's between 20 and 30%, will be diminished. So those 4 calories per gram of protein actually become 3 calories per gram. That means that it's a third of the fat's 9 calories per gram. That is why protein is so much better for dieting. It also is useful for helping build muscle. You require proteins. That is what muscle tissue is made of, and it is satiating and voluminous when you're dieting, so it helps you not be hungry. Protein is just a significantly better macronutrient to prioritize when getting shredded. So, because we're trying to reduce our fats, low-calorie cooking sprays or non-stick cooking papers and implements are amazing for helping you save lots of calories, and they will definitely help you get shredded. Now, I do also have 2 bonus foods. Neither of them are foods. I'll just get straight into them. The first one is caffeine of any type of variation. It could be a coffee, it could be a pre-workout, it could be caffeine tablets. That is what I use, because if I ingest caffeine in any other form, I immediately need to go to the toilet. Caffeine has 2 great advantages. The first one is addressing flavor cravings. When you have a coffee in particular, people hit that sort of late morning stage at 11 o'clock and they fancy a coffee. It is not just because you are wanting more energy, it is because you are desiring the nice flavor of the coffee, and if you didn't have the coffee, you might have snacked on something else that is higher in calories. The only way that your coffees will be high in calories if you add lots of milk or sugar. But the main way that caffeine helps contribute to weight loss is by increasing the amount of energy you have, which has two benefits. The first one is it helps you burn more calories. So everything today we've focused on minimizing the number of calories you consume. Caffeine actually helps maximize the number of calories you burn, which also helps contribute to your deficit. It helps maximize something called NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That is the number of calories you burn when doing non-dedicated exercise movements. So tapping your foot under the desk at work, twiddling your hair, like fidgeting around, me moving my hands while I'm saying this video, I am burning more calories. It is more than you think. It adds up over the day. And when you're dieting in particular, you sometimes feel zombified, but caffeine can perk you up and help increase or at least maintain your NEAT throughout the day as you diet. And the second thing that gaining energy does is allow you to train adequately even when deep into the diet. Again, it helps maintain your energy levels for training, for instance, for gaining muscle. That is another thing I mentioned that was good for trying to get shredded, maximizing your muscle mass. You'll be able to perform all of your workouts at a great intensity if you also consume caffeine. And finally, the last bonus thing is simply water. It is not very interesting, but water is very useful for helping you to be satiated. I highly recommend consuming adequate amounts of water with your meals, but all through the day to keep you satiated. That is it for today's video. I hope you did in fact enjoy the video. If you did, drop it a like, drop it a comment, subscribe, click the bell, all of those good things. There will be a link in the description to my coaching services. If you don't want to have to bother researching all of the tips and the trades and identifying what aspects of your lifestyle need adapting to help you get shredded. If you want somebody to help you get shredded the easy and smart way and to take the brain work out of it, to make you have the minimum changes you need to get you your desired results, I am here. Check that out in the link in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.